Hi, my dear students. Again, I am seeing for reproduction class in part 2 in botany. So, the today's session going to the topic on artificial method of vegetative reproduction. Natural method of vegetative reproduction, a number of methods are used in agriculture and horticulture to propagate plants from their pods. There are two types of methods are there. Number one, conventional methods. Number two, modern methods. Conventional methods means artificial propagation method have been used by man for a long time. In comparison, the modern method, nowadays the technology is being used for propagation to produce large number of plants in a short period of time. That method is called modern method. So the best method, conventional method. Conventional method means artificial propagation method have been used by man for a long time. The best method, cutting or cottage. Cutting is otherwise called cottage method. Cottage is the vegetative propagation where a short piece of a plant is planted to grow into a new plant. It is also called cutting. A cutting is vegetative plant pot when detached from the parent is capable of regeneration. Cottage is a cheap and convenient method of vegetative propagation. Cottage is used in the propagation of ornamental plants and in some fruit yielding plants. Some of the advantages of the cottage. Cottage is a cheap and convenient method of vegetative propagation. Enormous number of plants can be propagated quickly within a short period. Pure clones with a particular race can be propagated. Cottage is used in the propagation of ornamental plants and fruit crops. So, based on the plant pot from which a cutting is prepared, cottage is classified as root cutting, stem cuttings, leaf cutting, and leaf bud cuttings are there. So, first of all, you can see root cutting. Root cutting, raising new plant from root cutting is a method of vegetative propagation. It is a propagation by cuttage. Root cutting can be made from the underground root of any plant species. Root cuttings are 10 to 25 centimeter long. They are planted horizontally in soil or moist sand and watered regularly. The advantage is but will sprout to produce shoot. So the fruit yielding plants like example apple, pear, plum, blackberries are propagated by this method. Millingtonia cortans is propagated by root cutting. Second method, stem cuttings. Raising new plant from stem cuttings is a vegetative propagation. It is a propagation by cuttage. It is most widely used method of propagation of economically important plants. So, based on the nature and strength of the wood, stem cuttings are four types are there. Number one, herbaceous cutting. Herbaceous cutting, this also called another one cuttings are there. Hardwood cuttings. Hardwood cuttings means cuttings are prepared during dominant season from wood of the previous season growth. So the hardwood cuttings should be about 15 to 20 centimeter long with 2 to 3 nodes are there. cuttings with leaves should be planted straight or slantingly. Most of the fruit plants are propagated by hardwood cutting. Example, lemon, orange, grapefruits and pear, and also rootstocks of roses. Second one, herbaceous stem cutting. The cuttings are prepared from the succulent herbaceous plant. Example, geranium, chrysanthemum, coleus, carnations, etc. The stem cuttings with leaf of 5 to 6 inches are planted in the soil and watered regularly. Roots develop from the cut end in a shorter period under proper condition. Third one, softwood cuttings. This type of cutting is made from plants with flexible stem and softwood. Example, jasmine, hibiscus, mulberry, etc. The roots develop from the cut end. Root develop easier and quicker than other types. Stem cuttings are planted with or without leaves. Fourth one, semi-hardwood cutting. In this type, stem cuttings are collected from new shoot developed after active growth. Example, Duranda, crotons, etc. The leaves are retained on this type the cutting of the top side. Third one, leaf and leaf bud cutting. Raising new plant from leaf, a leaf bud entering the cuttings are the vegetative propagation. Plants with thick and fleshy leaves are propagated by leaf cutting. Example, begonia, Bryophyllum, Sanisvaria. In peperomia, the leaf is detached from the parent plant and planted vertically in a suitable medium. Adventitious root and shoot develop at the base from the petiole. In Bryophyllum, the whole leaf, when placed flat on the surface of the wet soil, produces many tiny plants from the margins of the leaf. In Sanisvaria, the long tapering leaf is cut into section of 5 to 8 cm long. The leaf pieces, when inserted for 3 by 4 of their length in sand, a new plant forms after a short period. Another one, leaf bud cutting. Leaf bud cutting consists of leaf blade, petiole, a short piece of stem with a attached axillary bud. Axillary bud give rise to the shoot and root are produced from the basal end. Example, tea, rhododendron. Second method, grafting or craftage. Craftage is a vegetative propagation where two decided plants are joined. It is also called grafting. The graft combination involves two plants. The upper plant is termed the scion and the lower plant is called rootstock or understock or stalk. So the advantages of grafting: plants like mango and sapota, which cannot be propagated by other method, can be propagated by grafting. The rootstock employed in grafting can tolerate adverse conditions like soil, climate, and infection by pests and diseases. High yielding varieties are produced by grafting. Disease resistant varieties are produced by grafting. Undesirable variety can be changed into desirable variety by grafting. By bridge grafting, the damaged parts of the large trees by winter injury can be repaired and saved. Another one, the principles of grafting. What are the principles are used in the grafting? Grafting should be done in the appropriate season. For example, for deciduous plants, winter and early spring season are ideal. And for evergreen trees, grafting should be done during the active growth. Botanically, the closer a rootstock and scion, the more will be the compatibility between these two. Any grafting method should ensure intimate contact between the cambium of scion and rootstock. The cut portions after grafting should be carefully protected from desiccation. Proper period should be given for successful union of stalk and scion after grafting. So the another type, method of grafting. Method of grafting is different types of methods are there. Approach number one, approach or enarching with grafting. It is a grafting where two potter plants are grafted. It is also known as enarching. Example, mango and sapota. In this method, both the stalk and scions are rooted. The stem of the stalk should have thickness a lead a pencil. In a stem of the stalk about 5 to 8 cm long, slice of bark and wood is removed at the height of 22 cm above the ground. The cut taper towards the tip and bottom. Second one, whip grafting. Whip grafting is a grafting where a tongue-shaped cut is given on the stalk or scion. So other name is called slice grafting. Other name is called tongue grafting. Example, apple and beer. This method, thickness of the stem of the stalk and scion should be same. The scion shoot is even slanting head, 7.5 to 9 cm long at the basal end. A corresponding head is made on the rootstock. The cut surfaces are placed together and tied in the position and sealed with grafting wax. The cut that is made on the stalk and scion are tongue-shaped and hence in this method is known as tongue grafting. It heals quickly and makes a strong union because of more close contact in the cambial region of stalk and scion. Third grafting, cleft or wedge grafting. It is a grafting method where a wedge-shaped cut is made at the scion and stalk and the scion is inserted on the stalk. Example, mango, sapota and jackfruit. In this type of grafting, the diameter of the stalk and scion need not be the same. The base of the scion is cut in the form of wedge. A cleft is made on the top of the stalk in which the scion is inserted. In such a way, the cambial layer should be in contact. The grafted portion is tied with banana fiber and covered with the grafting wax. After the successful graft union, the scion is allowed to grow further. Fourth one, ground or top grafting. It is a grafting where the scions are grafted on the top of a large stalk. Top grafting is also known as top working or ground grafting. In top grafting, the diameter of the stalk should be larger. A smooth cut is made at the top of the stalk, just above the ground level. The several notches or clefts are made on the cut surface of the stalk. In the same way, several scions are prepared with a wedge-shaped cut. The scions are inserted on the notches or clips of the stalk. Top grafting helpful in changing the cultivar of an established plant. Another type of grafting, bud grafting or budding. Bud grafting is a grafting where a bud of superior quality is inserted on the rootstock plant. It is also known as budding. A selection of bud in bud grafting is very important. A dormant bud which is ready to grow must be selected. Buds are removed with or without wood from the scion shoot. Example, citrus and mango. There are different types of methods of budding. Number one, tea budding. Tea budding is a method of bud grafting where a T-shaped incision is made on the stalk stem and the scion bud is inserted into the T-cut surface. This method is also known as shield budding. In the stalk stem, a T-shaped cut of 1.5 cm length is made and the bark is lifted with a sharp knife. The scion bud is removed in the form of shield. The bark is raised and the scion bud is inserted into the cut surface of the stalk and given bandage. The scion bud is allowed to grow. Example, orange, rose, plums and peaches. Second, budding, patch budding. It is a bud grafting. In this method, a patch of bark with a bud is removed from a scion wood. A similar rectangular patch of bark is removed from the stem of the rootstock just below the cut surface. The scion bud is placed in the rootstock and damaged. Example, citrus, mango and custard apple. Third budding, chip budding. Chip budding, it is a bud grafting. In this method, a slanting cut of 2.5 cm is made on the stalk with a notch at the bottom of cut. A similar cut is made in the scion shoot with a bud. The scion bud is exactly pitted into the cut made in the rootstock and tied up. Example, grapes and jackfruit. Another type of grafting, veneer grafting. Veneer grafting means a plant graft made by chamfering the surface of the scion and stalk and applying the one to another. Example, mango. Last grafting, epicotyle grafting. It is a technique of faster multiplication of mango. Fresh mango stones are collected and shown in the nursery bed. After germination, 10 to 15 days, old seedling with a tender stem and coppery leaves are lifted along with the stones. Third one, layering method or layerage. Layering is a vegetative propagation in which a shoot is allowed to take root while it is still attached to the parent plant. In layering, rooted branch is called a layer and it is separated from the parent plant when enough roots are formed to lead to an independent life. The parent plant supplies the new individual with water, food material like carbohydrates, proteins, and hormones like auxins. The factors affecting the production of roots and shoot on the layered stems are namely temperature, moisture, oxygen supply, lack of light, and age of wood, etc. So the advantages of layering. Layering is easy to perform. Rooting takes place certainly. Plants that cannot be propagated by cutting can be raised by layering. Layering does not involve utilization of costly implements. So the disadvantages are layering. Layering can be practiced to plants which produce low-lying branches. The number of new plants produced from a mother plant is low compared to cutting. The aftercare of layers is essential, which require daily watering. Special provisions have to be made for constant watering of the layered shoot at a higher level. So basically two main classes of layering, ground layering and air layering. These are the major types of layering. So number one, ground layering. Ground layering is a vegetative propagation where the stems produce root in the ground media. So several types of ground layerings are there. Number one, tip layering. It is a ground layering where the tip of stem are covered with moist soil. The tip layering is one of the layerage. The apical end of the stem are buried in the soil. During the growing season, the buried stem tip grow downward in the soil for a short distance and then bend upwards. Due the time of the meristem, at the tip develop root and shoot. In the next spring season, the young plant is separate from parent stem and planted in a new location. Example, raspberries and blackberries. Second layering, simple layering. Simple layering is a ground layering. In this method, the stem is bent down and buried in the soil in such a way that the tip remains above the soil. In the bending portion of the shoot, a wound is made with a sharp knife on the underside. The layered branches are held firmly in position by becks or large stones. Watering should be done regularly. Roots are formed after 2 months at the buried portion where the wound is made. When sufficient amount of roots are formed, the layerings are several from the parent plant. Third layering, compound layering. Compound layering is an ground layering. Compound layer is a ground layering. In this method, the flexible branch is bent and covered with soil in several places, that they are alternately covered and exposed over their entire length. So the compound layering is also known as serpentine layering. Rooting takes place in the portion of the stem that buried in the soil and develop new shoot on the exposed portion of the stem. The new plant may be severed from the parent plant. Example, ornamental vines like clematis, American grapes, and green grows plants in peperomia. Fourth layering, trench layering. Trench layering is a ground layering where a branch is covered for its entire length to produce plants from all node or bud. So the trench layering is also known as etiolation layering. In this method, 1 year old plant is planted slantingly at the angle by 30 to 45 degree. Once the plant is established, the entire plant is bent and laid flat on a bottom of a trench of 5 cm depth. When the buds start to develop, the plant is covered with soil 2.5 cm depth. As the young plant grows, more soil is added over the buried stem. The buried stem produces root. Example, cherry, plum, and apple. Another layering, mound layering. Mound layering is a ground layering. In this method, the plant which is established by trench layering is cut down to the ground level and new plants are produced from the cut end. Mound layering is also called stooling. It is a modification of trench layering method. In this method, a rooted layer is planted in a small trench. It grows and forms the established mother plant. The aerial shoot is cut off distance of about 5 to 10 cm above the ground level. New young shoot develop from the cut end. Soil is added at interval until the new shoot are covered halfway. Watering must be done regularly. Rooting takes place at the base of the covered shoot. The new plants are severed from the parent plant and transplanted. Example, rootstocks of apple and pear. Basically, two type of layering, one ground layering and air layering. Ground layering is over. Last one, air layering. Air layering is a vegetative propagation where rooting takes place in the aerial part of the plant. When it is covered with any rooting medium other than soil, air layering is also known as scooty or mark cottage. In this method, the stem is injured best by slicing, notching or griddling. The injured portion is enclosed with rooting medium which maintain moisture for rooting. Example, sphagnum moss is used by the rooting medium. Rooting takes place above the griddle on the upper portion of the cut end of the ring. Example, guava, croton, ixora, ficus, etc. Advantages of conventional methods. The plant produce are genetically uniform. Many plants can be produced quickly by this method. Some plants produce little or no seeds. In other, the seeds are produced do not germinate. In such cases, plants can be produced in short period by this method. Some plants can be propagated more economically by vegetative propagation. Example, Solanum tuberosum. Two different plants with desirable characters such as disease resistant and high yield, can be grafted and grown a new plant with the same desirable character. These are all advantages of conventional method. Another one, disadvantages of conventional method. Use of virus infected plants as parent produces virally infected new plant. Vegetative structure used for propagation are bulky and so they are difficult to handle and store. Another method is a modern method. Professor F.C. Stewart of Cornell University showed that the mature phloem parenchyma cell removed from the carrot were placed in a suitable medium under controlled condition could be stimulated to start dividing again to produce a new carrot plant. These cells were described as totipotent. Totipotent is a character only the unique character for plant cell, not for animal cell. The growth of the plant tissue in special culture medium under suitable controlled condition is known as tissue culture. This is the only major today commercially used by the method is called micropropagation method. Micropropagation means the regeneration of a whole plant from single cell, tissue or small pieces of vegetative structure through tissue culture is called micropropagation. Micropropagation method, the many types of mediums will be used. The famous scientist Murasugi 1974 has described the procedure of development of micropropagation into 3 different developmental stages. Stage 1, establishment of explant aseptically. Stage 2, multiplication of propagules by repeated subculture on a specific nutrient medium. Stage 3, rooting and gardening of plantlets and planting into soil. So recently the micropropagation method to producing the one plant for oil palms are produced. So these are all about the modern method of vegetative reproduction. The advantages of modern method: plants with desirable characteristics can be multiplied rapidly in a short duration. Plant produce genetically identical. Tissue culture can be carried out in any season to produce plants. Plants which do not produce viable seed and seeds that are difficult to germinate can be propagated by tissue culture. Rare and endangered plants can be propagated. Disease-free plants can be produced by meristem culture. Cells can be genetically modified and transformed using tissue culture. Then disadvantages of modern methods: it is a labor intensive and requires skilled workers. Sterile condition must be maintained which add to the cost. Sometimes cows undergo genetical changes which are undesirable for commercial use. Then evaluation part. What is layering? The stem of the parent plant is allowed to develop roots while still intact. When the root develop, the rooted part is cut and planted to grow as a new plant. Example, Ixora and Jasminum. Second question, differentiate grafting and layering. Grafting, in this method, part of 2 different plants are joined so that they continue to grow as a one plant. The plant which is in contact with the soil is called stalk and the plant used for grafting is called scion. Example, citrus, mango and apple. Layering, the stem of the parent plant is allowed to develop root while still intact. When the root develops, the rooted part is cut and planted to grow as a new plant. Example, Ixora and Jasminum. Third question, write short notes on approach grafting. Fourth question, distinguish mound layering and air layering. Fifth one, list down the advantages of conventional methods. Sixth question, explain the conventional method adopted in vegetative propagation of higher plants. Seventh question, discuss the importance of modern methods in reproduction of plants. So the technical terms regarding to the vegetative reproduction: callus, undifferentiated mass of cell obtained through tissue culture. Grafting, conventional method of reproduction where stalk and scion join to produce a new plant. So the reproduction of plant, two parts are over. Part 1, reproduction, that is basically two type of reproduction, asexual and sexual reproduction. Part 1 and part 2, asexual reproduction. Then part 3, sexual reproduction classes will start. So part 3, sexual reproduction of plants is coming soon. This is basically to get the ideas about the flower. Flower consists of 4 parts: calyx, corolla, androecium, gynoecium. You know about the basic ideas. Then meet again the part 3 class. Thank you.